Stranger Things might be ending, but the real-life drama behind the cast feels stranger than the Upside Down itself. Fans thought Season 5 would be the last big shocker, but what's been happening behind the cameras has shaken people just as much. From Millie Bobby Brown becoming a mother at only 21, to the Duffer Brothers walking away from Netflix, to cast members hinting at heartbreaking finales, this is more than just TV gossip. It's the kind of real-world storyline that makes Hawkins feel tame by comparison. Think about it. When Stranger Things first premiered back in 2016, nobody thought it would become the cultural giant it is today. Netflix was still finding its footing in original programming. Millie was just a kid. Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, and Gaten Matarazzo were all barely teenagers. And now, a full decade later, the kids we met in Hawkins aren't kids anymore. They've grown up, and their personal lives are every bit as dramatic as the battles they fought on screen. The final season isn't just another binge drop. It's the end of a cultural era. For fans, it's like saying goodbye to a childhood friend. For the cast, it's leaving behind a world that shaped their entire adolescence. Behind the curtain, emotions were raw, the tears were real, and the storylines didn't just stay on screen. They bled into real life. And that's where Millie Bobby Brown's shocking leap into motherhood enters the picture. At just 21 years old, she's adopted a daughter with her husband Jake Bon Jovi. Yes, Jake, as in the son of John Bon Jovi, rock and roll legend and generational wealth personified. Fans didn't just blink, they practically gasped in unison. For some, it was inspiring. She's wise beyond her years. For others, it was a lot to process. Isn't she too young for this? Isn't her career just taking off? The news dropped like a bombshell over social media. Tweets went viral instantly. Millie Bobby Brown has an adopted child at 21? Meanwhile, I'm 26 and can barely keep my plants alive. Instagram was flooded with fan edits of Millie holding baby bottles, with captions like, "From fighting Demogorgons to fighting diaper duty." TikTok, of course, went into full meltdown mode. People debated whether she was proving her maturity or rushing into adulthood way too fast. But then came the darker chatter. Whispers that she bought the child. That ugly word was trending in connection with her name, and fans were divided. Some defended her fiercely. Adoption is beautiful, stop twisting it. Others pointed to the reality. Private adoption in the US is a billion-dollar industry, often reserved for the wealthy. And Millie at her age wouldn't have even been eligible in most circumstances. This only fueled the suspicion. Was money the key? Did her status fast-track what others wait years for? And while fans were busy debating ethics, the internet detectives were hard at work. A clip leaked from her sister's wedding. Millie walked in holding a baby, and instantly theories exploded. That's the baby! No, look at the hair. It's too old. Entire threads formed where strangers zoomed in on screenshots, debating if the little girl was adopted, borrowed, or just a cousin. This is the level of obsession Stranger Things has bred, where even a blurred clip of a baby can become a viral mystery. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. Months earlier, Millie had been spotted buying diapers and baby bottles. The tabloids went into overdrive, pregnancy rumors were everywhere, and then she shut it down, casually revealing those weren't for a baby at all. They were for her goats. Yes, goats. She keeps them in the house, sometimes even in diapers tucked into bed. Jake had apparently had to draw a hard line because things were getting out of hand. Imagine stepping into that household. Hollywood star, Bon Jovi wealth, and goats in diapers running around like toddlers. Fans didn't know whether to laugh or question everything. And if that wasn't strange enough, Millie even told Call Her Daddy that for her first child, she wanted to shave her head. She framed it as liberating, a reset. Fans immediately tied it back to her Season 1 look as 11. And suddenly, social media spun wild theories. Was she hinting at a pregnancy? Is she about to go full circle, reliving Eleven's hair arc as a mother? The jokes and debates turned into chaos overnight. But while Millie was dodging headlines and navigating motherhood in the spotlight, the Duffer Brothers, the masterminds of Stranger Things, were making headlines of their own. Quietly, they signed a 4-year deal with Paramount, walking away from Netflix after this final season. For Netflix, it's a blow. Stranger Things wasn't just a hit, it was the hit. It was the crown jewel that proved streaming could create cultural juggernauts. To see the creators walk away feels like the upside down cracking open under Netflix's feet. Why the switch? Reports suggest Paramount offered something Netflix wouldn't: theatrical releases. The Duffers wanted their next projects on the big screen, not just trapped in streaming. And Paramount came with the bag. That means Stranger Things. Season 5 might be the last time we ever see Hawkins under Netflix's roof. After that, the Duffers' creative universe moves elsewhere. For fans, that's terrifying. Will spin-offs without the Duffers feel hollow? Can Netflix keep the magic alive when the magicians themselves are gone? Speaking of disappearing acts, remember Billy, the bad boy heartthrob played by Dacre Montgomery? After season 3, he vanished from Hollywood. Fans assumed he was just lying low, maybe living off those sweet Netflix checks. But when he finally resurfaced, his truth was far darker. He admitted Stranger Things pushed him to a breaking point. He lost track of time, of himself. He wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating, spiraling into a bad mental state. That role demanded everything from him, and it left scars. So he walked away, intentionally, to protect his art and his sanity. He spent years in silence. No blockbuster films, no big TV roles, just space. And now, he's teasing a comeback with indie films that allow him to push himself creatively without the glare of mainstream pressure. For fans, it's bittersweet. We wanted more Billy, but at what cost? His story is a reminder that fame isn't always the dream it looks like. Sometimes it's the very thing you have to run from. And then there's Finn Wolfhard, our Mike Wheeler. Finn has been candid about how strange it feels to walk away from Hawkins. Imagine spending your entire adolescence in one world: monsters, friendships, supernatural chaos, and then suddenly it's just over. For Finn, it was emotional, yes, but he also tried to lighten the mood. He described the last scene as one of the best moments of his life, and fans immediately latched onto the possibility of a spoiler. What could have happened that made him so ecstatic? Did a beloved character finally get closure? Did the group triumph in a way fans have begged for? And the spin-off? Oh, the spin-off. Nobody knows what it is except Finn. That's the kicker. He guessed the storyline in casual conversation, and the Duffers admitted he nailed it. What does he know that we don't? Fans are speculating everything. An adult 11, a Hawkins prequel, maybe even a total reboot. The secrecy is so tight, it's driving the fandom insane. Meanwhile, Joe Keery, Steve Harrington, everyone's favorite babysitter, sparked panic with one interview. He admitted he wrapped his scenes early, then stuck around to watch the others finish. Fans dissected every word. Why did his arc end before the others? Was this a sign Steve dies early? The trailer only fanned the flames, showing Dustin clutching Steve in a heartbreaking shot. The theory now is that Steve sacrifices himself. One final heroic act. And honestly, would the Duffers really resist pulling our hearts out like that? Stranger Things has never been afraid of tragedy. The Duffers themselves promised this final season would be bigger than ever. Basically, 8 blockbusters stitched together. That means action, spectacle, and heartbreak. And when they say no character is safe, they mean it. We've seen it before. Barb, Bob, Billy. Nobody expected them to go, and yet they did. Could Steve be next? Could 11? Fans are spiraling with theories, each darker than the last. Behind the scenes, emotions were running even higher. Cast members described popping champagne through tears, hugging every crew member, clinging to each other as the last shot wrapped. Finn admitted it didn't feel real, like walking out of a dream. Millie reportedly hugged nearly everyone on set, thanking them for shaping who she became. Joe Keery couldn't let go, hanging back to soak it all in. And the Duffers themselves? They broke down. They told the cast, this wasn't just a show, it was history. And they weren't exaggerating. Stranger Things didn't just entertain, it defined an era. It became a cultural event like Friends in the 90s or Game of Thrones in the 2000s and 10s. It was merch, memes, Halloween costumes, and entire fandoms built around Hawkins. To see it end is like watching a cultural time capsule close. But here's the thing. Endings aren't just sad. They're also beginnings. For Millie, it's motherhood. For Dacre, it's reclaiming his artistry. For Finn, it's adulthood outside of Hawkins. For the Duffers, it's a new home at Paramount. For fans, it's the hope of a spin-off, a reboot, or some way, anyway, to keep the magic alive. So, what happens next? Does Millie's bold leap into family life inspire a new generation of young stars, or become a cautionary tale about growing up too fast? Does Paramount's big money deal reshape the streaming wars? Does Steve live or die in Season 5? And when the dust settles, will Stranger Things remain untouchable, or will spin-offs water it down? Drop your theories, your wildest guesses in the comments below. Because the truth is, this story doesn't end when the credits roll. It lives on in the fans, and the debates, and the memes, and the chaos. Stranger Things may be shutting its doors, but the drama? That never sleeps. So smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and don't click away yet. Because what's coming next will be even wilder than Hawkins. Stick around, and let's unravel the future of Stranger Things, one theory at a time.